Hey there guys and girls, and welcome to Merc Space. Get that kettle on or grab a beer and settle down for this week's awesome chat with super cool people. So this week marks the end of an era that spanned half of my life. The amazing TV show that is Supernatural is coming to an end after 15 years on our screens. The last ever episode will air on Thursday the 19th of November 2020 in the USA. Tonight I'm joined by my Supernatural buddy Tracy Hughes, and hopefully Jane Ruby will be joining later to break down the past 15 years. It's going to be emotional, so strap on in for Supernatural, the road so far. Let's see where Tracy is. She coming in? Here she comes. The internet connection is unstable. Welcome, Tracy. Woo, here she is.
Oh,
liking the Dean get up.
Thank you.
Got a sports on plaid for the Supernatural podcast.
I think I'm going to wear this for the season finale as well.
Yes, nice. I like it. Well, do you like my shirt?
I'm very jealous of your shirt. I'm not going to lie.
Hi, Sammy. Rookie mistake. So, Supernatural. 15 years, man. Coming to an end.
Oh, I'm gutted. It's time that it happened, but I'm still gutted.
Half of our lives, man. It's crazy.
It's literally hard. I was literally watched it when it first came out with my dad, and now it's 15 years later, and it's oh my god.
I know, right? I mean, that's it, right? Let's take it right back to the beginning. So, you watched it with your dad. I watched it with my dad too. Definitely a father-daughter show for sure. Back on, what channel was it on back in the day?
2.
ITV2. Wow. And then it went to Sky and made it so much harder for us to watch it.
As I hadn't watched it for years, I had to be naughty and watch it on the internet because I couldn't get Sky, I didn't have it. So there was a few seasons that I missed, and then I had to catch up when I was being naughty on the internet.
Same. I mean, I think I went for about 5 years without watching it, and then got back into it again, and that was it then. Forever.
I get the DVDs of season 1 and 2 and no life in it. Even when I've rewatched it recently, I especially the first 6 episodes, I literally know for it line by line. And it's just oh my God, I must have watched it this many times when I was a teenager because I literally know it off by heart.
Oh man, those early episodes as well, they're just absolute prime Supernatural.
Oh God.
I don't think it got, it's always been amazing, but I don't think it got better than the first season. It was just amazing. I mean, that first moment when Dean walks in, Sammy, Dad's been on a hunting trip and he hasn't been home in a few days.
Really is odd.
That moment, girls around the world just fell in love instantly, I think.
Yes.
Totally.
Without a doubt.
Ken Snackles. Yes. Beautiful man. I mean, you'd follow him anywhere into a vampire nest or whatever. Sure.
You really just trust him. I'm yeah, he'll get me. It's okay. At least.
Brilliant. It was so funny. But yeah, that first episode, it just it gripped you straight away with those words. And you're what the hell is this? Who are these people?
It did.
And then
I think as well, looking back, because I've started watching season 1 again, I think they were actually the scariest monsters as well. Because you had the Hook Man, you had Bloody Mary, you had Windigo, all these really funky things in this, where you're just learning the monsters. And I think that was actually, now I'm watching them again, they were the scariest ones.
Totally.
So it was just monsters down, and it was just so good.
It was, man. It was brand new then, so everything was just so different every week, and how every idea was fresh and terrifying. The effects were so good as well. I forgot about the Hook Man, actually. I completely forgot about it.
It's so good. It's I remember when, obviously because we were so much younger watching Bloody Mary, oh my God, I was terrified. For the next couple of days, because I'm almost anywhere, I was so scared of looking in the mirror. I was I can't even think of the name Bloody Mary because she'll appear.
Totally. Even now, years later, no way. There's no way you get me saying that. I'd rather say Beetlejuice 3 times. There's no way I'd say Bloody Mary ever. Oh my God. Such great episodes. The Windigo, I think, was probably my favorite early one. Episode 2, I think that was.
Yeah, it was episode 2. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I did love the episode 4 of season 1, which was the planes. One, because it brings demons in ever so slightly, and then it's just hilarious with Dean being so scared on the plane.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, oh my goodness, I forgot about that.
is when they're in their airport and Sam's like, "Oh, just get on the plane," and he's like, "No, because I'm gonna do some. Why do you take a drive everywhere?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's just brilliant."
And that's why they drive everywhere now in the show. Oh my god, like everything back then, you had like you had the same things every episode. So you had a whole big deal about Baby. For anyone who doesn't know who Baby is, this is Baby, the car.
Most epic car ever.
Paula. She is beautiful, and she is Dean's baby. You had Baby, you had things like, AC/DC rocking out every week. Oh my god. And then they ran out of AC/DC songs and just moved on to some other amazing rock band from the 80s. It was amazing. Poker, pie, pool, girls, beer, burgers.
Everything.
That was original Supernatural.
Was.
No wonder we got hooked straight away.
It was good. It's just, yeah. And then like I remember watching like the finale of season 1 as well, like with the truck and the car and everything. It's just like, oh my god. I remember even watching it then. Obviously I was concerned about the boys, but then I was like, the car, what are they going to do about the car?
Was that the one with the haunted truck? Oh, Dean, where are you going?
No, it was the season finale where they'd escaped from Azazel, but then there was a demon that took over a massive truck and smashed into the side of Baby. And then they were all unconscious, and then they ended up being airlifted to hospital, and that's in the first episode where Dean's hunting a Reaper.
Oh my god, terrifying!
Good.
Terrifying. Oh, it's so funny because they barely speak about Baby in the later seasons, and they're driving around in all these other cars as well because they've got like a car each.
It's not right.
It's not right, but it's still amazing. I mean, so because of those early days, I brought some pie along with me. I should find some pie. I am gutted I forgot to buy a beer, but I have you got a beer? See, Tracy's representatives for the beer. I'm representing the pie. We're all good. If only we could play some rock music and not have to pay for it. That'd be nice.
I know. I ended up putting, when we were making tea to get me in the mood, I ended up putting "Carry On My Wayward Son" on.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I ended up putting AC/DC on. Wow.
Yeah, they're amazing. Like those tunes are just like, and they're gonna get me through after tomorrow, after we have the final episode. I'm just gonna have to keep listening to the songs all weekend.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet. Like we've still got a few days to hang on. But let's have a think about like all the great moments that we've experienced over the years. So I mean, Sam and Dean are hilarious, like buddy couple anyway, like bros, but like they do some great comedy together. And like I've been trying to think about like the best moments that they've shared, and I think my favorite Sam moment is just like when he was like super badass, when he was hanging out with Ruby and being a bit naughty.
Yeah, but because I'm a Dean girl through and through, it just wound me up because I was like, "You're not thinking of Dean at this point. Stop being so selfish."
He was being very selfish. He was just thinking with one thing.
But he was. He really was. No, it was very good to see that different side of him. But yeah, the whole time I was like, "You're putting Dean through hell. Stop doing this."
I know. I remember actually. Yeah, Dean was just like, "Where's Sam? I don't know what's going on." So emotional. But yeah, it was nice to see a different side of him, at least.
It was.
What's your favourite Sammy moment then?
See, I'm a sucker for the funny episodes. I just love the funny episodes. I think it just lightens them up as like many like bro times I've had and like heart to hearts, which obviously we all love. Yeah. Especially we love them ones because it's just nice. But I just love the one with the rabbit's foot where once you've lost it, like you're gonna end up dying. And they're trying to find a solution, and Dean's on the phone to Bobby, like trying to figure it out. And then you just hear this plop, and Dean turns around, and Sam just looks really sad, and he's like, "I've lost my shoe," and it's just, but I just love it. It's just, I just have it in my.
What a great moment! Oh my god, I've totally forgotten that. So you've been rewatching everything recently. Like it's so fresh in your mind. I've not watched these ones in years. I really need to. I think as soon as it finishes, I'm going to have to start from the beginning again. For sure. Yeah, I love those little cute Sam moments, bless him. But Dean has those cute moments too. Like, what was it? When what was it you were talking about the other day? When he was so yeah,
my favourite Dean one is in Yellow Fever, where he ends up everything. So there's a really funny scene where he's like, "We hunt monsters. Who does that?" and like freaks out, and that's really funny.
That's it. He's terrified.
Yeah, and then like they're going through their place, and there's these lockers, and they open it, and it's just a cat jumping out, but he screams for literally like 2 minutes, just non-stop. And it's just brilliant. It's just, yeah. So as much as I like love his like dark moments, that's just hilarious. However, I did like it when he was a demon and hanging around with Crowley.
Yes, I think, Crowley. I think Dean and Crowley's relationship I loved more than Dean and Cass's relationship.
Ooh, yeah. They were very good together. Yeah, it was really funky
because it was kind of real. It was reluctant. It was a reluctant bromance, and Crowley just like ended up being. He just turned into like this kind of good demon in a little way, but still a little bit naughty. But he reluctantly began to care for them, and I love that. He was like beddy mates with Dean, and Dean's like, "No, we're not." It's so cool. I mean, Crowley, Mark P. Shepherd, isn't it? He embodied him so well, like absolutely amazing.
It was. Whenever it was on the screen, like you're just drawn to it. Even like when he just said "Hello, boys," I couldn't help but smile because it's just as soon as on the screen, is amazing.
He is. Hang on, wait. And here he is. Hello, boys.
Love it.
He's got his coffee. I tried to fit them all out earlier, but they kept pulling. But we'll just pop him there. Now he's arrived.
It goes.
I think did Crowley started out as a Crossroads demon, didn't he? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he was like the main guy of like the Crossroad demons. So he'd control the Crossroad demons, yeah. But then he'd do deals himself as well, but with only like high people, I think.
Yeah, I remember when he turned up. I'm pretty sure I remember that first moment being on the Crossroads and just being like, "Who the hell is this guy?" Yeah. He's just showing up and changed everything. And that's when demons really started to change, I think. I mean, if you think back, over the years we've had so many monsters, and things have changed so much in the past few years, but way back it was just the demons. Like that was the scariest thing.
They were epic. Like when going back to like season 1, and then like when you meet Meg and then you realise slowly at the end that she's a demon, and I was like, oh my god, they're so badass. Like they're amazing. I was on for a long time that they're like these really bad things, but as bad as it is, you kind of want to be one because they were just at the same time. They could do everything. They were so cocky. It was really, really good. So I think it's later on down the line that the demons now have just kind of become like little chihuahuas. Yeah,
it's true. Like they were the big bad, and they were scary and like you say badass. And there was no way to kill them. Like they didn't know how to kill them. And it was like doing a ritual and all of that back in the day. And then one day they discovered like special daggers and things, and that was it.
Yeah.
But then you brought in the new things, and like angels, and angels suddenly became a thing out of nowhere. Back when Dean was like, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in angels or anything like that. And then suddenly...
Yeah, I must admit, I am looking, because I'm only halfway through season 2. I can't wait for season 4, like when you see Cass for the first time, because I think that scene is so epic when there's the lightning going off, and then just Cass is there in his trench coat with like the shadow of his wings and stuff. I just can't wait to see that scene again.
What a moment. And what's so weird is that it's so long ago now, and like now Cass is just like, it's been there the whole time. It's just ingrained as part of the team. But I remember like before that, like it felt like Supernatural had been on for ages, and it was Sam and Dean, and that was it. It was Sam and Dean. And then suddenly this guy came out of nowhere and started hanging out with them, and I was like, who's this guy? Thinks he can just because he's an angel, thinks he can be part of the crew. And then now it's like he was always there.
Yeah.
Very weird. I remember actually when I'd picked it back up again after years and years of not watching it, and my friends who I work with were lending me the DVDs, and they started talking about Cass, and they were like years ahead of me, and they were like, oh yeah, you don't even know who Cass is yet, that's crazy. And I was just like, who? I mean, it's weird. I can't even imagine saying that now. And I mean, you know, speak of the devil. Do you remember when he had this moment?
Do.
Right? Castiel Steve. What a great episode that was, or a few episodes. I can't even remember now.
2 episodes.
Wasn't it? He was trying to be human.
Yeah.
So cool.
Oh, I just love how awkward, like, I can't, he's still like awkward and he has them like awkward funny moments, but I can't wait to watch him like again in season 4 and 5, like where he's just going through that awkward phase and doesn't really understand like humans, and he fits the bill perfectly.
My favorite like cast moments ever are ones that repeated over and over throughout those seasons, and it's his quote, and it's, I don't understand that reference.
Yeah.
I adore it. And then it's like when certain other character came in later, Jack,
Yeah.
and like Cass all over again, just like, I don't understand what's going on. So funny.
I think, but like, because obviously, like, there's so many things like about Supernatural at the minute because it's coming to an end. And I was watching this interview with like Misha, and he was saying how he wasn't told to play Castiel like that, but he thought, oh well, an angel who doesn't really hang around with humans, like, they're not going to get it. So he was like playing this really awkward, like confused angel, and then he was saying all these other people came to play angels and they were just completely normal.
Yeah.
And that's not what he thought would happen. So they ended up just becoming this awkward angel.
Oh my god, that's brilliant. Just because they liked what he was doing in his audition. I love it. And that's like one of those moments where you just know it's the right person because they're playing in it a certain way. I couldn't imagine anybody else being cast. He's amazing. And that trench coat and tie, and it's just amazing. I love it. And here he is as well in his trench coat. Lots of props made today. Lots of props.
Very jealous.
I can't even think like of a specific favorite cast moment. I think just when he was being silly and unsure of things.
Yeah.
I think going back to Crowley, I think my favorite moments of him are when he was being more vulnerable and showing his softer side. I think back to when there was something going on. You'll remember better than me now. Like towards the end of the series, and he's like tied to a chair, and is it like
making human again?
That's it. Yeah, that was it. And he was like really like emotional in that scene. It's just brilliant.
It was good, but I kind of didn't want them to do it. I didn't want them to make him human. Crowley that makes him so good. So as much as it was like an amazing scene, at the same time I was like, no, please fail, because I don't want you now. I
think I was feeling the same as well. It was pretty cool though, and like Sam was being badass in that scene as well.
Yeah.
Mean. So yeah. What about all the other additional characters we've got? We've had, I mean, obviously Crowley and Cass have been kind of our staple main additional ones, part of the crew as they sort of joined. I think the foursome is, you know, very similar, you know, more important than like Jack these days. But we have had a lot of additional people over the years, additional family members. So have you got a favourite at all?
See, now I have got a favourite, but then obviously watching them back, it's reminded me of like other people. So my favourite is Rowena, because when she on the scene, I loved to hate her. She just like stopped the boys at every turn. She was so annoying. She was manipulative. I just hated her. But then, as much as she was bugging me in the way of how she was just being, I started to like her. Mm-hmm. And then as the seasons come on and she's like, you know, gone towards more like on the boys' side, I've absolutely adored her.
Yeah, she's just brilliant.
And like with the whole spells thing and everything that she can do, like she's just brilliant.
She really is. She like you say, I think I didn't like her at first. And I mean, the massive thing that she was Crowley's mother as well. Oh my God, that whole storyline with like the emotion of back when it all happened, back in the olden times. And learning that, you know, he does have a human history. You know, he wasn't always a demon. He was a person. And she wasn't always just a witch. She was a person. And every time she calls him Fergus,
I know,
amazing Scottish accent. She's incredible. The actress is just amazing. Let me see if I can actually can't remember her name. Ruth Connell. Ruth Connell, yeah. Oh,
she's fantastic.
Just the relationship that she builds with them as she gradually like starts to, I don't know, see them as like, you know, kind of mother them in a way and see them as like an extension of like sons in a way. And she's there to help them. She's amazing.
She's amazing. But yeah, going back, it's like, I don't know if you remember Gordon.
No, remind me.
One where when do we see him first? We see him first, it is back in season 1. Is it season 1? Oh no, it's the start of season 2 after Sam and Dean's dad's just died, John's just died. And they're in a bar and they're hunting vamps, and Gordon ends up helping them hunt these vampires basically. But it turns out that he's a little bit psycho and that he just wants to kill everything. And Dean's like going that way about it. And then after obviously seeing Gordon how he is with this vampire, he like snaps out of it. But again, I just love that relationship because like he's so evil, and then at every turn like Sam and Dean are stopping him, and it's just on that episode like he's tied to a chair, and then Sam's like, oh, so you're ready to go, and like Dean like shrugs and sniffs up and is like, one more thing, and then like just punches him to the floor and is like, okay, I'm good now, we can go. And it's just so good. And then again, like,
okay, we had a mild technical difficulty there. Tracy disappeared, but she had no idea. She was talking to herself. So anyway, Dean being, you know, Dean.
Yeah, Dean being Dean, and then like when Gordon finds out about Sam's psychic abilities and, you know, goes on to try and kill him, and I just think he's a really funky character, and I think it's a really cool dynamic between the brothers and Gordon. Like, he's only in 4 episodes, if that, but I just think, especially at the start, he really stands out.
How weird that I don't remember him, especially when it was during Sam's psychic time. I forgot about that as well. That was a massive deal at the time.
Then like Dean was so worried about him and didn't want to told like Dean that he might have to kill his own brother, and
that was like the big thing, like that's the reason all of it happened at the beginning with Yellow Eyes, the demon from the very first episode, and their childhood. That was supposed to be the reason behind it all, and it was like kind of the end of Supernatural was going to happen, and it was like that was the story. Now it feels like that was so insignificant and so far off. Crazy. Yeah, so they went and found all those special kids.
Yes.
That were just like Sammy.
Yeah, and because he met a couple along the way as well that like ended up killing themselves or being killed or something. But yeah, so I'm like halfway through season 2 now. So
when was that then? All that stuff was that? I wasn't season 2, was it?
It was season 1 and season 2.
The psychic stuff. No.
Yeah, it was season 1 where like you met Max Miller, and he was like killing all his family, and Sam kept seeing premonitions of it happening, and Dean was like, oh, it's just a dream, and he's like, no, I've googled the address that I saw in my dream and this has happened, we're going. And literally they just turned up as like Max Miller, not that they knew it was him at the time, had killed like his uncle, his dad or something. So yeah, that was season 1 and season 2.
I remember them being in the house and they had to like try and talk him down, didn't they? Yeah, that rings a bell. Oh my god. See, I need to go back. Pardon?
Long ago.
So long ago. God, I didn't realize I'd forgotten this much. I need to go back. Just doing like a Supernatural podcast. I don't remember anything. Good job, I've got Tracy here. It's the super fan. Oh my god. Yeah. Who else have we had characters wise? Well, come on. Bobby is probably one of the most important.
Hey, I love Bobby.
Characters. He's like extra dad, isn't he?
He is without a doubt. We don't actually meet him till, is it the end of season? It might not even be, we don't even meet him till season 2.
Yeah, it is later than you think, isn't it?
Yeah. So I thought he'd been there from like the middle, and then I was like halfway through the season, I was like, we've not even seen Bobby yet. And it's not till think it's the last episode in season 1, when they go to Bobby for some stuff that John wants, clearly to summon Azazel to bargain for Dean's life and stuff. But I was like, oh my god, but he's just so good.
He's such a sweetheart. Like, there's so many times throughout it you think you're gonna lose him, and then when you eventually do, you can't quite believe it. It's just heartbreaking.
Yes.
What did you feel about the whole going to the other world thing and there being a new Bobby?
A bit like the whole Mary thing as well. Like, yes, it's them, but it's not them. It's not their Sam and Dean. Like, it's not Sam and Dean's, like, mum and Bobby.
Yeah.
So I can kind of see why they brought them in, but at the same time, like, even in season 15 when I'm watching Bobby, I'm like, yeah, but it's not original Bobby.
Yeah, I know. I feel the same.
It doesn't sit right with me in a way. I get why they did it, but like, even when I think back to Mary moments, the only Mary moment I like is in season 1 where they go back to when they go back to the home and like she's there and she saves the family and gets rid of that poltergeist, because that was actually Mary.
Yeah,
that was Mary in that dimension. So as much as I can see why, it's not the same.
No, I know. I'm not a fan of I mean, Supernatural is like prime for bringing people back from the dead. We know that you don't just die in Supernatural, but that's more like the boys. Like, they don't just die. The other characters seem to be allowed to die, and we just find a different way to bring them back.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's not the same person, I'm not a massive fan of that. But yeah, but Mary, speaking of Mary, I mean, when they first decided to like bring her back, like, I was just like, what? Like, all these years of her not being there and her being dead and that being the reason everything kicked off. And then they did the time travel thing where they went back to like the 70s or something, or the 80s, and they found out that she was a hunter she was from a hunting family.
Yeah, because they always thought it was John that got Mary into hunting, but it was actually the other way around. I think it was like the 70s, because John was thinking of getting a Volkswagen van, and because Dean was there, he persuaded him to get the Impala instead.
Yes, that was so weird. Such a weird moment, but beautiful.
Yeah, I loved that episode. It was so good.
It was really good. He was really handsome as well, the guy that played John. Now I'm thinking about it, actually, I might be imagining wrong, but I'm remembering, and he looks like the guy that plays Superman in Supergirl. I'll have to check that one out in my head. It might not be the same guy. But yeah, but that was a really cool episode, and it was emotional.
It was, especially considering like it was Azazel from all them years back as well, like in the 70s, like doing his plan like all them years ago.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
Insane. I love that kind of stuff when they make the story deeper and take it further back. That was very cool. But yeah, the fact that she was already a hunter, and then you got to meet her parents, and her dad came into the present world and was like there with the boys. Crazy. But yeah, when she came back and they met her, and Sam had never really met her, that was just emotional. And then she was staying and was fighting with them, and it was a really strange dynamic for them then to get used to her being around and her to be with her grown-up sons. It took away from them any kind of memory or imagined memory they may have of her, and I think it was probably strange for them. I'm talking about them as if they're real, but to like actually meet it's kind of like that thing, like, don't meet your heroes. It's that they had a beautiful image of her as mum, and then suddenly she's this like kick-ass hunter. So it was weird, but it was cool. I think my favorite, apart from Rowena, my favorite extra character would be Garth. I love Garth.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's so sweet, isn't he? Oh my god. DJ Qualls, the actor, famous for Road Trip, I think. Yeah. He's just brilliant. He's just so sweet, and then like still a bit crazy though, and then he becomes a werewolf, and he's just like, it's okay guys, I'm just a werewolf now, and he's my little werewolf family.
Yeah,
fine, I'm handling it. So crazy.
It was. No, it is really sweet.
It was. And that's like another thing where they like evolve as hunters and as characters when they start to see certain monsters. Some monsters are not just being monsters.
Yeah.
Over the years, like Benny, the relationship that Dean had with Benny the vampire.
Oh, you actually meet him in season 2, the same time you meet Gordon, you meet Benny because he's like behind the bar, and Dean and Sam are like asking about any like funny goings on, and he's just there like behind the bar, and he's like, nope, and it's like, oh my god, it's Benny, and they don't even realise yet.
Oh my god! But so is that before he's like in as a real character then? Yeah. That's like, oh my god! I need to go back, man. I didn't realize that. That's crazy. Very cool. I like that. Yeah, he was cool. That kind of made Dean see anyway that not all monsters are bad and some of them are just trying to be good. So different dynamic later on when they tried to save some of them sometimes. It's interesting. Yeah. It was cool. What else? How about what did you think when baby Winchester appeared on the scene? Adam, little stepbrother.
I don't know. Like, I can see why they brought him in because Michael needed another vessel and they needed like a kind of good one because obviously Sam was the bad one, Lucifer, and Dean was the good one, Michael. So I can kind of guess why they wanted to. But I don't know. I just felt like it took it away from the boys as being brothers. Yeah. Just all this other dynamic, and there's Sam being all Sam and really nice, and there's Dean being a bit skeptical, and I would be Dean. I'd be like, hang on a minute, like just go back to what kind of where you came from. So I can see in the story, especially like when it comes to later on in the series, like in season 15, I can see why they did it, but I wasn't keen.
Yeah, for me it was more the changed John's character. That's what annoys me with TV shows when they go on for a long time, is that they have to find new things to happen and new characters and things, and sometimes they make choices that change a character's personality and what they may do and things. And I never saw John as being a character that would have like gone and had some other child and then kept it a secret and all of that. I didn't, I hated that really. But I also did like him because, you know, it's Jake Abel, I think is the actor, and he's cute. So from that point of view.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it did wind me up a little bit. I was like, no, there's only 2 of them, just leave it be.
Yeah, exactly. But then he died, so, you know.
Fine.
I was excited when he appeared again at the end. Like in that episode last week, seriously, the credits started at the beginning, and I was just like, da da da, and it went Jake Abel, and I was like, Jamie! I was like, guess who's back? Back again. Baby bro's back. Tell a friend. So yeah, I like it when they bring people back, but some people should stay dead.
Yeah, a little bit.
For sure. I mean, on that, death in Supernatural and dying in Supernatural, I mean, when it first happened, when Sam died, I mean, when he died, what was your reaction? Were you like, that's it, oh my god, it's over?
Devastated.
Yeah, totally.
Because I'm like coming up to that episode soon, and I'm just thinking I can't cope with like Dean screaming Sam, running to him, getting on his knees, like hugging him, and then his body's just there, like on this camp bed in this dodgy house. It's just like, oh my god. I remember when I first watched it, I was devastated. Now, even though I know there's like so many more seasons, when I watch it, I'll still be upset.
No, it's because it's that way you say it. It's Dean's reaction.
It's awful. Like, it's so upsetting. And then it's just when like he's trying to bargain and like make a deal, and Bob is like, no, you don't do this, and it's just heart-wrenching.
Yeah. Because I mean, we know now it's not that long of a journey because we've been on a longer one with them since, but the journey that they've been on up to that moment and how much they've gone through and always saving each other, and to have it in their heads that no, we're not going to die, like it's never going to happen, and then to lose Sam like that, and you're just there as a viewer like, what? what just happened? Like, is he dead? Is he really dead? Like, is he gonna like go off and just be a hunter on his own now? Like, what's gonna happen? And then was it at the beginning of the new series then that he came back? I feel like it was the end. Because he buried him, didn't he? And then he rose.
Yeah, I can't remember how it ended. I remember seeing Sammy on the bed, and then Dean making a deal, and it was going to be like, what happened to the 10 years? I want 10 years. And then Crossroads Demon was like, hell no, you're Dean Winchester, you're getting a year.
Yes, I remember that.
And at the end of season 3, he dies and goes to hell.
Yeah.
That's where, because I really liked it, where when he comes back, and then it slowly realizes what happens. I think it's really funky that when you learn how demons became demons, and that it was, Dean was on the rack for so long, getting tortured, he couldn't take it anymore, and then he tortured people. And then the longer you tortured people, like the more your soul got destroyed and became demon. And I loved that storyline. I thought it was really, really funky, learning that about how demons became what they were.
I like that when they explain things and make characters deeper and stories deeper. It's very cool. And actually being able to then finally see hell and see where all of these things are coming from. It was a nice little twist, something different to see. I mean, they've definitely both died multiple times, I'm sure. So I feel like one of them was buried at one point. It might have been Dean then, because I remember there being a gravestone or something.
I don't remember a grave. Do I remember a gravestone?
I remember that there was a body, and I remember thinking afterwards, when they come back to life, I was like, but surely the body was rotting on the ground.
Dean, when Cass pulled him up, because his hand appeared out of the ground, and then he got up, and then there was the trees had just disappeared because obviously the power of Cass had fingered it. So they'd obviously buried him, so I'm guessing you might be thinking of that one.
Yeah, that might be it then. Yeah. That moment when Cass brought him up, raised him from perdition, was it?
Yeah.
What's the line? I can't remember the exact words.
Raised him from perdition. Perdition? I think so. It's just so cool.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Immense moments. Oh dear. There's been so many people over the years, so many different angels and things as well. You've had the trickster, which was Gabriel.
Yeah, he was so cool. I loved him.
He is really cool. He's a good actor. I like him. He's funny.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to see him again this season. You never know. We've still got this last episode.
Right.
But yeah. Oh my god, I've just realised something. We've not even spoken.
Lucifer. I love him. I just love him. He's just as evil as he is. He's just so cocky and so sure of himself, and he just walks around with this arrogance of, yes, I am it. He's just epic. And especially when you had Sam and Dean and Lucifer and Crowley, it was literally, who do you watch on the screen? Because he's just a character, and I got so excited when he appeared in season 15. I was literally Lucifer's back, yes! And then when he went so quickly, I was
yeah, it's that was short-lived, but nice.
But at least he came back, because he's just amazing how he plays off Sam and everything like that. It's just so cool.
He is brilliant. Mark Pellegrino, the actor, the charisma, and he's been there sort of from the beginning, from very early on. 40 episodes he's been in from 2009, so yeah, early. That'll be 4 years into it, because Jared and Jensen 2005 it started, so I suppose not that early then, not as early as I thought, but he's just when and he came in he had the red eyes, and that was Lucifer's eyes, because he's the devil.
Yeah.
And he's just brilliant. And again, there's been moments with him where you've not quite known what's going on, and if he's being okay, if he is becoming a bit good.
Yeah.
I remember there was a moment, I can't remember, don't ask me what season, don't ask me what the storyline was going on at the time, but I remember him being sat on a bench or on a wall outside in like a busy street, and like was he being like a homeless man or something? I don't know. He was talking to Sam or Dean or just a random person, and
I vaguely remember.
Yeah, he just seemed really lost and unsure of himself. And it's that ability with the acting that like you can just change the character like that and show his different sides. Amazing.
Yeah, he's just epic. Like he just really is. Like even just when it comes to him being in the cage and stuff, like with Sam and things like that, it's just, again, it's a bit like Crowley. Whenever he's on the screen, you're just drawn to him because it's such a good character. Like as much as you don't want him to win, at the same time you're kind of egging him on because it's like watching him.
He gives a good fight. You're like, yes, this is like I suppose people watching wrestling, for example, and you're like, oh, that guy and that guy fighting each other. Yes, like that's perfect. And when Luce is on the scene, like you say, how he plays with Sam, like
so good.
He's brilliant. I absolutely adore him.
I do. He's brilliant.
He is. Now then, as we progressed and got to the more recent series, the boys finally found a home.
I know.
Which is sweet. I did miss though the driving around and the same. The poor set designers with like the same motel set, just dressing them differently every time. So yeah, the bunker. I mean, let's talk about the bunker. What the hell? Where did that
go? I think I did get not as bad as Leviathan series, but I think I did. I've lost it a little bit of the Man of Letters. Like at first I thought it was really cool, and I was like, I'm not sure, but I am glad that they just had a base, and because they've never had a home like since Dean was 4. So for them to have that base, like I just thought it was like really good and like nice for them. And I remember Dean getting so excited about having his own bedroom and like decorating his bedroom and putting his like rifles on the wall and stuff. It was just so cute, and I was like, oh, Dean.
It was really sweet. God bless him. And yeah, it was nice for them to have a base. It was just so cool to see all this like, again, new history coming out of nowhere that they didn't know about. But it's just so funny. I mean, first of all, you had the thing for years and years and years. They're just driving around the country and doing all these things, helping people for free. They're eating burgers and stuff all the time, staying in motels. How are they making their money? Oh, by pool and poker and things. That's how they're earning the money. And now they don't even seem to be doing that anymore. Well, they've got a place with like electricity and all this stuff, and it's just like, where's it coming from? It's just there. We don't ask questions.
I'd like to think that they're still kind of doing it on the side. You just don't see that bit.
Yeah.
Always kind of like had that in my head that they're obviously getting money from hustling and doing God knows what.
Yeah.
I like to think, but then I do remember him saying something about, funny enough, Charlie like making him like a debit card or credit card that had a like endless amount of money.
Yes.
So I think from when Charlie was there, they probably did that. So I just remembered that now. I can't remember. Yeah. It must have been recently that they've said that.
Yeah, it was like last season or the season before. I do remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah, it was when Jack said he wished everyone could tell the truth, and everyone, or it was something to do with that, the God or Jack, and everything had just disappeared and went off, and then Dean was like, well, we haven't even got the like credit card that Charlie set up for us.
Yes.
I think it might have been.
Yeah. Oh my God, Charlie. Like again, like it's weird because like you think like you've remembered all the amazing characters, and then you're like, oh, they had another amazing best friend. Oh, and another amazing best friend. Charlie was great. Yeah. She was so funny. Really? Oh my God, and all the girls. Jodie. Love Jodie.
Yeah, and back in the day, again in season 1 and season 2, Joe and Ellen.
Joe and Ellen.
The Roadhouse.
Ellen, that's it. Earlier on, I was like, Joe and Ellen. Love Ellen. Oh,
and Ash. Ash with his mullet. Like, party at the front, like, business. So
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, that was his little quote. Party at the front, business at the back. Oh, bless his heart. Yeah. But yeah, Joe and Ellen, when they died, that was the Hellhounds like episode, wasn't it? There was like loads of stuff to Hellhounds when Joe and Ellen died, and they were in that bar. I think that would have been the bar that Joe and Ellen owned, and then the hellhounds were coming through, and I don't know if the hellhounds got them, or I can't remember how they died.
They ended up, Joe ended up being, from what I remember, Joe ended up being seriously injured by them. Managed to pull them away, but then the only way to kill all these hellhounds that were after them, I can't remember why, was to
Blow
put
it
them
up.
on.
Yeah.
Yes, Ellen stayed with Joe and they blew it up while Dean and Sam did whatever they needed to do.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I just remember an explosion, but I was like, why would there be an explosion? That's why. I remember now. Yeah. And Jodie with the girls, like, say when she took on Claire, who was Cass's Vessel's daughter, which was a crazy thing. That was probably the most disturbing thing as well, to be like, to know that your dad's dead, but to see him walking around embodied by an angel. Crazy storyline. Tracy's frozen again, but I'm going to keep talking. Eventually she'll come back to me because she can hear me, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, they did that spin-off episode that they were going to do, Wayward Sisters. There she is, she's back. Wayward Sisters. They were going to try and do that new series. I really enjoyed it, but I don't think the rest of the Supernatural fans did, because he decided not to make the series. Did you know about that one?
No, I did not know about that one.
Do you remember there was like one episode where Jodie and the girls, it was just them. I think the episode was called Wayward Sisters, and they were trialing it.
Maybe. Yeah. I vaguely remember it now. You said it.
Yeah, they were going to do a spin-off series because the new Supernatural was probably coming to an end in the next couple of years. And I was like, oh, that'd be really cool. But it didn't get picked up. So, it's a shame. But, yeah, maybe it's for the best.
So, I can't really think of specific moments because there's literally so many. Again, for me, it's the funny moments. But I think when in the last episode, just gone in season 15, and Cass was saying bye to Dean, and it was absolutely heart-wrenching. Like, I was just getting so upset, and then I literally screamed when Cass shoved Dean out of the way, and there was that hand mark on his jacket, and I literally just screamed. And literally, my husband was looking at me like, what are you screaming at? I was like, you just don't get it. Like, it's...
Don't get it.
And then again, I was watching an interview, and Jensen was giving this interview about that episode, and he was saying how he can't remember. He's like, so don't quote me on it. But he thought that Misha came up with that on the day of shooting that. Like, they were just talking about it and doing it, and then Misha was thinking, I think we should do this. And I'm so glad they came up with that idea, because I thought that was such like a fitting tribute to everything. Like, just going back to like, amazing. So I think that moment proper stands out. And I think as I carry on watching the seasons, I'm like, oh yeah, but then this happened, and then this happened, and like, it's so cool. But yeah, I think that like proper stood out for me with the handprint on his jacket. It was just amazing.
Yeah, you're right. That moment when you just saw it after he disappeared, I was like, and me and Jamie, we looked at each other and we were just like, I would neither of us needed to say, do you remember why? Do you remember why that's significant? We were just both like, oh yeah, we both know why that's significant. It was just, and for anyone who doesn't remember, it's that moment when Cass saved Dean at the beginning and brought him back, and his handprint was there. But as it gripped him tight and raised him. That was it. There was that handprint again when he saved him and left again. I'm hoping we may see him again.
If Jack is now the Almighty God and can bring every freaking else one back,
yeah,
he should be able to bring Cass back.
I think he can bring his adopted father home.
Exactly, I'd like to think so. I don't think it'd be the same if he's not in it, just because it is the final one. But I'm just a bit, because the last episode felt like they did a montage and everything. You have a montage, like, that's it.
Like, so we've been talking about this season for months now, and how it's the final one, and we're coming up to the final episode, and we've been saying, I've been saying I feel physically sick. I want to vomit about the idea of this show ending. I can't possibly imagine how it's going to end. And we discussed so many theories, and online all the fans will discuss so many theories about, you know, are the boys going to die? Is one of them going to become God or an angel? Or, you know, what is the only way that this can end? You know, how are they going to defeat God of all people? Like, whoever thought the big bad in the final bit would be God.
Yeah.
And there we were last week settling down to watch the penultimate episode. As my other friend said, bless her, she's not turned up, bless her, I think she's busy teaching yoga. My other friend said, I sat down in the morning with my cup of tea, ready, you know, for an episode that was just gearing up for the big battle next week for the final episode. No, it all bloody just happened, didn't it? I couldn't believe it. And then, like you say, we had the montage at the end, and I was like, is that it? And I said to Jamie, I was like, I thought we had like 2 more episodes yet. I'm so confused. And he was like, no, there should be 1 more episode. And we had to check, because to put
I did
on the end like that.
Yeah, because again, I was watching it and I was like, well, they defeated God. Jack is now God. Like, there's no one running their lives. So now what happens? I think, coming back to like moments, what did irk me was the episode where like their luck had run out.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that it was all God. And that really upset me, because it was like, well, no, you're taking everything that Sam and Dean have been taught from everyone, like from Bobby, from John, everyone.
Yeah.
But you can't even like pick a lock.
Yeah.
And that proper bugged me, because I was like, no, that's not right, because they've learned that, they've owned their skills.
Yeah.
It's not just because of luck from God. So that proper upset me, because I was like, that's not fair on like their characters to take that away from him.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like I agree. Like, when they first did the whole thing where their story was being written anyway, even like with the books, because it was Chuck, wasn't it? It was Chuck that was writing the books. And even like back then I was like, what? I was like, I mean, it's quite cool and funny, but I was like, why? And then when it was that he was God and that he was writing their story, I was like, what? this is again, I was like, this is taking away everything that they've ever done and ever earned. You're just saying that it's God that's been telling them what they were doing this whole time. So yeah, it didn't really sit well with me either. So, and I kind of was a bit gutted, because I always really liked Chuck as a character before he became God, before it became obvious that he was God. I was like, he was so cool and so funny and cute. But yeah, I suppose we had to meet God eventually. So it was cool. But yeah. And yeah, I was satisfied with the ending that we have sort of already had.
Yeah.
I didn't want them to die, and I kind of thought maybe because Jack has been put up on this pedestal as being this amazing creature that kind of is very powerful, I figured he may be the one that saves them in some way at the end. And like we were saying the other day about when God was beating on the boys, and they kept standing up and taking it, and they were smiling, and that moment on its own was just beautiful, because it was just,
it was,
that was the whole 15 years in like just them two stood there holding each other up and smiling, covered in blood. That was like the whole past 15 years in one. But the whole time I was like, yeah, you think you're winning and you're beating on them, but where's Jack? Jack's around here somewhere and the camera's not showing him. He's going to come in now and save the day. But that, I mean, did you even like, I didn't even pick up on that thing that he was absorbing all this energy at all.
I noticed like when they were in that like silo thing and they were trying to save everyone, I noticed like the plant like had died, and it did seem like he like sapped the energy out of it. But again, because it was like the second to last episode, I wasn't really thinking. I was just literally watching, so I thought, that's strange, but I didn't actually think that it would come to anything as like massive as what happened.
No, like just the way they said it, like, yeah, so by the way, God, he's just sucked all your energy and your power. You're not God anymore. And his face was just like, I don't think he ever expected to lose like that.
No, it was an amazing scene. Like, well, I mean, the whole episode anyway. But like that scene when they were outside was just amazing.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And they were when they were like back in the town and things were back to normal. And Dean was just being Dean and being like, yeah, okay, things are fine now. So Jack, yeah, come on, let's go home. And it's like, no, he's God now. He's not just going to go home. And suddenly that presence that Jack's always had, that aura of like just being a bit like he's on another level, it suddenly made complete sense because suddenly he was God. And it's like he was always that the whole time.
Yeah. I think it was really poignant as well, like when Sam and Dean went back to the bunker, because it was kind of like how they started. It was literally just them two.
Yeah.
There was no one else. It was just Sam and Dean, and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really intrigued to see what happens in the last episode, because like everyone's saying it's like an old school episode.
Yeah.
So I kind of hope it is literally just them cracking on with the job of like saving people, hunting things, the family business. And I just want it to be like a really funky episode, just kind of do it on a high. Like I don't want there to be any annoying cliffhanger. I don't want one of them to die. I just want it to be a fun episode.
I think that is what it's going to be. Is like I say, when we thought we were confused because we didn't know why it had just suddenly ended, and we had a look online, and it seemed to be what people were saying, and that I think the people who had already viewed it, like the critics and stuff, they were seem to be saying it goes back to the beginning and the heart of Supernatural and what it's all about. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. But I don't know. I wonder what kind of monsters they're going to be fighting, and are we going to see any of the old faces come back? You know, I hope so. But they're going to also do just before the final episode airs, they're going to do a documentary interview thing as well, which will be really cool. I guarantee that will probably make me cry.
Yeah, I was just going to say I will definitely be crying at that, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. And that's something as well that over the years, it's Supernatural has developed into something more than just a TV show. It's become a family for a lot of people all around the world, not just the actors and the crew, the casting crew themselves. I mean, they've definitely become a family over 15 years, but the Supernatural fan base have just created this SPN family, and you can go into groups on Facebook for support for all sorts of stuff. Of course, Jared Padalecki set up is always keep fighting for mental health, and so many people have found so much hope through that, and they even set up a helpline, and I think that's just beautiful. Like a TV show can do that.
Yeah,
it's wonderful. So yeah,
it's just an amazing show. It is
just brilliant, and it's going to be very hard for it to not be there anymore. But now I can go and buy the box set and
exactly
and watch it all. Exactly.
Watching the first season as well, like obviously like the soundtrack's epic throughout, but that first like season 1 and season 2, like in season 2 episode 2, I think it's with the Killer Clowns, and he's just fixed baby up, and literally AC/DC Back in Black is like blaring out, and there's just there like driving. It's just like I just love the soundtracks. It's epic.
So every episode used to end with either like them sat on the bonnet of baby with a beer, like by a lake or something. Yeah. Or it'd end with them just driving off with an epic tune. And just like all those amazing moments from the beginning of every episode, like they'd be setting out on a journey and they'd get in the car, crack on an epic tune, driver picks some music, shotgun shuts his cake all,
Brilliant. It is. There's just so many like good moments in it, and so many just amazing things that happen. It's just
we're gonna miss it a lot for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's a sad shame that Jane didn't turn up, bless her, because she's a massive Supernatural fan as well. It would have been cool for you guys to meet, but she's obviously busy with her yoga. But we have had a good Supernatural chat, I think. Aired it all the emotion. So we have the final episode airing tomorrow night. We'll hopefully be watching it on Friday. So if we all watch it together at the same time, and then
Friday.
I mean, are you game for a quick 20-minute, half an hour session afterwards?
Yeah.
Walk it through.
Because I'll be demoed anyway, so yeah, that's fine.
Cool. I'll set up another one of these, and as soon as it finishes, we can get on and be like, oh my god, and then yeah.
And then I can guarantee you Saturday I will carry on watching season 2.
I think I'll start from the beginning on Saturday as well myself, for sure. So yeah, for anyone that's listening, so we'll do another one on Friday after we have watched the last episode, and we'll have a little chat as well about the next steps for the boys, Jared and Jensen, in their future careers and where we can follow them. So anyway, yeah, that's it, everybody. Thank you for joining me today, Tracy.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I'm sure we'll talk more about it tomorrow. So I'll say goodbye to you now, and we'll catch up with you on Friday.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.
So guys, thank you very much for joining me and Trace today. We had a lot of fun talking about Supernatural, and I hope you guys enjoyed listening to it. Hopefully no one's listened and heard spoilers. I forgot to warn about spoilers again. I'll put that in the type up. So like I said, we'll be back on hopefully Friday night, Saturday morning possibly, to talk about the final episode and how it made us feel, and say goodbye officially to Supernatural. But as I said, to hopefully also talk about the boys and their next journeys into their next TV shows that they're doing. I'll now just remind you guys that if you don't have time to sit and watch our beautiful faces on YouTube, you can still listen on the go on Spotify, or I think it's Amazon Music as well, as a podcast. And don't forget to follow Merkspace on Facebook and Instagram for updates on news and upcoming shows. We're going to be doing lots of different shows, so it's going to be about films, TV shows, nature, all sorts of stuff. Been interviewing some cool people. So check us out in the future. Thanks, guys.